Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video of integrating GraphQL with Spring Boot, we will be looking into scalar types. So scalar types are basically something which are like not primitive data types. So suppose in Java you have a class or object, those kind of things. So you can consider something like that. So here you can see that I have created one query called test, and it takes a date. Now on, like, if you see this, you might be saying what's so scalar about this. These are like just normal string types, but no, these are like scalar types. So this is a date scalar type, this is date time scalar type, this is phone number scalar type, and this is like email scalar type. Now it's not necessary that whenever you are passing phone number, email, date or date time, you have to use this scalar type. You can just normally convert it to string, and you can keep instead of taking scalar type as the input for your query, you can take it as normal string type as well. But yeah, that's the only difference. But sometimes you might run into limitations, so that's why we have scalar types. So yeah, so let's see how to do this. So firstly, you will have to go to pom.xml, and you will have to add this dependency. So if you are using Gradle, you can add the Gradle dependency for GraphQL Java extended scalar, and you can go to this repository to check whatever is the latest version at the time of you watching this video. Currently it is 21.0. that's what I am using over here. Next, we have to create a file called scalarconfig.java. so inside config folder, create scalarconfig.java. but before that, you will have to also create inside your GraphQL folder, create a file called custom-scalar.graphqls, and in schema.graphqls I have just added this test query function, test query, which takes a date time, phone number and email. Now these are all scalar types, right? Date time, phone number and email. So you have to define this inside custom-scalar.java, custom-scalar.graphql, sorry. And here you can see I have defined date time, phone number and email. Okay, again you can use either one of this. I have just showing all four of this in one single video. You can use something like this as well, depends on you. So yeah, create this query, and here in custom-scalar.graphql you can create the scalar types. Next, what we have to do is we will have to go to scalarconfig.java file, and here first you can copy all the imports. Here I have marked it as @configuration from Spring Boot, and here we have to define a runtime configurer file. Okay, and we have to mark this as @bean. And for if you are using just the date scalar type, you can use it something like this. Okay, you don't need all this stuff. Okay, and you can just add semicolon at the end. But I am using all four of this, that's why I have to add all four scalar types. So this is for date, this is for date time. Now this library which we have added, GraphQL Java extended scalar, it does not have it for phone number and email. So for phone number, if you want to define a scalar type, what you have to do is you have to use extended scalar.new regex phone number, and here you can add your regular expression. Now this regular expression you can keep it whatever you like, .build. Okay, and if you see my output inside my query as well, I had to add this these two brackets for encapsulating the first two digits. This is because of my regular expression. Okay, in case of phone number, you can add any kind of regular expression you want. Just because it is named phone number doesn't mean you have to give a regular expression of phone number. It can be anything. And the last one is for email. Email one is little complicated, so I have created one separate function for it. And here we are doing the same thing, GraphQL scalar type.new scalar name email. Now this name, email, phone number should be the same what you have defined over here. Okay, for date and date time it is already present, so we don't have to worry about it. You can see date and date time, it is already present. So here this name should be same what you have defined inside custom-scalar.graphql. This is a description for it, it can be anything. Then we have to use this method called coursing. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and just create an object for it. There are some predefined methods which we have to override. First is serialize. Inside serialize we just have to check if this data fetcher result is an instance of string value. If yes, then we are just converting it to string, otherwise I am throwing an exception. Similarly for parse value as well, again we are checking it is instance of string value. If yes, convert to string value. And here I have calling this is valid email as well, which I will show you in a bit. I have defined it over here. I'll just let you know what it is now only. So basically it returns a boolean, and again here I have added regular expression regex for our email. Okay, and if it is valid email, then return the email, otherwise throw exception. Similarly for parse literal as well, first checking whether it is an instance of string value. If yes, get the string, and then again check whether it is a valid email or not. If yes, then return the email, otherwise throw exception. And lastly you will have to call this dot build as well. Once that is done, you can just go to your hello world resolver.java or whatever resolver you have created. So we have created this resolver file inside in our first video. So here you can see, and here I have so this is our resolver. We have marked it as @controller, and this is our query mapping. So here I have defined the method test. Again the name should be the same whatever you have defined over here, and it takes an argument of local date. Second argument is of offset date time, and you have to use the same thing. If you want to know why we are using local date over here, then you can refer to the GraphQL spec or to the GraphQL extended scalar documentation. Okay, for phone number and email we are just keeping it as string, okay, because we are creating custom scalar for phone number and email. And here I am just returning just displaying all the value. I am not really doing anything with it, but you can do whatever you feel like. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.